My name is Gloria. I'm the face behind Allure as Alchemy. I'm the Alchemist, explorer of love, light, human dynamics, music, and magic. How many of you have been to FBGO? Have you been there? Your friends been there? Or you've been locked up in Zaki's little basement dungeon for a day or two? Or you've been put in the naughty corner for a few hours? I had a few run-ins, and I'm not naughty. I'm not naughty. I'm always very careful because ultimately I work in the media industry, you know. I work in entertainment and media for a long time. And what I want is to get anything, content, message out. So I have to play the game, isn't it? I'm not going to get myself, tangled in a situation that in whatever I created can't get out. So I'm always very, very careful. I don't have any controversial stuff to talk about. Not at this point in time, because I understand everything has two sides of the story, and I always have to get my facts right. But funny enough, the first video that I got flagged was about manifesting world peace. Dangerous subject, isn't it? Get the collective, right? It was a video that appealed to the collective, appealed to light workers, and say, come on, everybody, we can do this. Make use of the energies around, and manifest world peace. Pray for world peace. And that video got flagged, whatever reason it is. And then the second video that I got flagged was a video that I paid tribute to my late husband. I can't even talk about my late husband for whatever reason. Flag is flag. Yeah, in the end, the video I have to re-upload, and I got it out, And thereafter, a few times was things like, oh, you like too many, you have too many likes at one go. Can I make this point? I think first and foremost, this whole artificial intelligence is a problem. I will expand on that. But let me target on Facebook first. I think you recently tweaked the AI sensitivities in it, by all these, I don't know, little fingers by your new batch of engineers. Are you testing out something or what? It's all like Spinal Tap level 11. It's just all going way silly. Is there like a snowflake level or something like that? It's not just like me. But answer me this question. How is it that liking people's posts too quickly a problem? I mean, at my age compared to a youngster, the way that they flip with the thumb, I'm like 100% slow. I'm like the turtle or the tortoise speed compared to them. So how could I be faster than them? But yet, I get like flagged and restricted. And at one point, my account was locked as well. And it's not just me. I got other people, other friends. The same thing. Say, oh, because they like too many at one go. I was able to, before this recent, I think it started possibly 6 months ago, I was able to go to various people's Facebook page, even though some of them are not page, some of them are just personal account. But I'm a fan of yours, because of the content that they put out. A lot of it got to do with photography or arts, and I love just browsing. It's like browsing a magazine, isn't it? And I just liked. I look at it, I study it, I liked. And then I used to be able to do that. I will go into certain people's page once every few days and just, do this like after another to show my appreciation. So millennials and younger people who are sitting in this AI office on Facebook, please, it's not stalking, it's showing appreciation. Don't you show appreciation in your generation? Don't you, like, if you have an artist that you like, or a celebrity, whatever, Ariana Grande or Harry style or whatever, don't you like show appreciation? So what more now? We're talking about independent, whether they are an artist or there's somebody who just appreciate arts and they share, or photography, or somebody who share memes. Is there any problem with that? There's a difference between spam and just liking. And if the person is not complaining, why is it stalking? So from then on, even when they lifted my restriction, I still can't do it. I still can't show my appreciation to certain people that I'm a fan of the content that they put out. I think a lot of people are not expressive, but there are people like us who would like to show our appreciation. Maybe not all are for us. Some are for memes, as I said. Some are for stories. What is wrong with that? Why do we get restricted? Right? And messages as well, the DMs. I have a habit of, when I have new contact, I'll send them a follow-up and say hi, to make contact. I don't think you young people do that, isn't it? You think that it's like weird. It's like stalking. I don't send immediately. I wait for a few days. When I'm free, then I just send a follow-up. And I got restricted. So these days, I can't show appreciation to people for what content they put. I can't individually message all these new friends of mine to make that contact, because once I hit like 5 in a row or something like that, it becomes more and more sensitive. It just cut off. The last was it cut off about 5. Just send out 5 messages and my account got locked. It's silly. So now I want to talk about, there's various other people. Obviously, there are various that's been knocked out. We might be the most well-behaved citizen walking on your land, that land, whoever's land, in our own country. And then we all got this record. They call it the badge of honor. Why is all this thing happening? You can say that it's the artificial intelligence. You can say there's the algorithm. And that brings me to the point that I want everybody to take this seriously. Artificial intelligence is a problem. I'm not being regressive. I'm always a very progressive person in terms of thinking. And I even talk about this. But why is artificial intelligence a problem? Because ultimately, artificial intelligence is set by human beings. You have a set of criteria, and then you come to consensus. Usually it's a committee. And they say, okay, this is what we're going to do for something like that. This is how you're going to. It's all going to be very black and white. Kind of like this video. There's no gray area. Because you have to make a decision, isn't it? A computer have to decide. If this happens, it's go down this way. Option A, right? This is the action is going to be taken from the AI side, from the computer side. If it's not, then it's action B. So it has to be a very black and white situation. So there's no gray area. And then obviously, the algorithm, which this day they have this trainable algorithm. That means it will learn, this artificial intelligence will learn as it go along, different kind of trend of behavior, and then it created a new set of algorithm to run things, to run with it. AI is good for what? Quality control, like food production. Anything that you want to produce for a quality thing, it's very good to make sure that it meets all the marks. To use AI on human behavior is very 1984. We are human. We evolve, And then we created this robot to come and tell us what to do. There's something very wrong about this. While there are many people that actually reject AI, there are much more people, the younger generation. We come from a time, I might not be that old, or in your case you may view me as old, whatever. Age is only a number, I don't really care, right? I'm an old soul anyway. We come from a time, and of course, I can talk about even those people who are before me. The human touch, the human interaction, it is all very important. It's all about sovereignty. When you surrender everything to the AI, if it ends up in the wrong hands, all for the common good, and then you keep stepping up, become more and more stringent, more and more strict, you lose your freedom. This is not being pessimistic. Have any of you watched Black Mirror? Before Black Mirror even been made, when it was first floated around in a mass scale, singing praise of China, their social credit system. And I look at it, I thought, dangerous there. But a lot of people were so on the basis, oh, you can go to the supermarket, you mean without with a wallet, and then you can just take the thing and go home, and then they will already bill you. Or you go to your fridge will top up the stuff for you, and the delivery man send all this. Why is this good? You like people to know about what you're doing. This invasion of privacy, how is it going to affect? Let me tell you, this AI, why can't it be used on human? I'm sure a lot of us know already, but I think it's worth saying again. How this social credit system, eventually it will be used in public policy and all this. As I say, the intention is always starting off as good, because you need something to measure, to balance out, it's like for the mass. But then it will reach a point, because you want more and more fine details to tweak the policy, it will be very, very restrictive. Right now, through social media, whether they do it just for their own, or whether there is a bigger push from elsewhere to use it as a test bed and see how they can be floated around, we don't know. As I say, many things are beyond us Joe public that we know. But all I know is when it becomes a norm, when it's been normalized, and that means that we've been conditioned. Haven't we been conditioned enough? Through our whole growing up years, we've been conditioned to behave in a certain way, to think a certain way, and how it actually affects us as we grow up in terms of our interaction with people, in terms of how we handle matters, right? So you have that part of it. And then the AI, then you shape, say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And when it goes to public policy, eventually it becomes more and more stringent, because it becomes more and more normalized, more and more acceptable. And you say, well, it's to combat criminals and terrorism. Yeah, but it can also be down to the point that once it's used as a social credit system, it's going to be like, okay, you are weighing 60 kg. Your ideal for your height, your ideal should be 55. And right now you want to claim some subsidy for medical, but you're having what? 2 bottles of Coke, 2 liters of Coke, right? 2 times 1 liter or 2 liters of Coke a day. We can't give you. You'll be down to that point. And then if like all the salary and everything they lock in and say, oh, well, you're earning this much, so you should be paying this much, right? And then you go on the site, you got a gift. Right? An uncle decided to, he won the lottery, decided to give you $10,000, let's say, or $5,000 as a gift, because you're your uncle's favorite nephew or niece. And then system like that will say, okay, you got that extra, so which means, where is it going to? Am I being pessimistic? I don't think so. Already we've seen with the recent years, what's going on. The test bed, isn't it? If you don't come with this little thing, we can't give you this. It's all on a conditional basis. Yeah, okay. You can say this has a basis, right? Other areas. My fear, well, all these authorities, they can do anything that they want, is that us, human, mankind, don't be conditioned. Don't be so easily conditioned. Don't because they give you a little bit of freebie and you buy into it. Right? Think about it in the long run. How just stretch your imagination. A lot of things can be propagated. As I said, you can easily plug a Joe Public and make it to a superstar, within a few weeks. It's all down to marketing, down to the hype, down to the amount of money, down to the right avenue that you pump in. Quite easily can be done. And my concern that all along, I think that I talked about in recent video, is about conditioning. We have to be a bit smarter, a bit clearer. There's a lot of noise going around. To be restricted more and more. Already you're talking about, it's kind of strange, before what happened on a mass scale in recent years, right? And just before it kicked in, all the restriction, it's talking about mental health. There's a lot of propagation of news article from experts saying that mental health going to be an issue. Mental health going to be an issue. Why? You keep raising fear, right? You get people in the comfort state, then you get fear, then you keep going to this cycle. So all I can say is, we human mankind will evolve, right? While we want to always find ways to improve lives, the environment, and everything. Sovereignty is very important. Privacy is very important. Compassion is very important. Humanity is very important. Okay. The brilliance of technology, no matter what, don't forget, it's always have to be programmed by somebody. And who is doing this, who is accountable, who is doing this checking? Is there a conflict of interest from anywhere or anybody? Do you know what I mean? If not for recent months of all these, you know, I seen like the most decent people been like suddenly be saying, oh, my account got locked, you know, all this use of AI, and they thought, okay, start from all these small things, that it becomes a norm, right? Just within a short time span, like about, I think about what, 2 months, I do not get restricted how many times. It becomes like a norm that you die. It's okay. So it, you know, imagine in future when it's put out into a public policy situation, or on a bigger scale, you feel that it's all right to have a tainted history of yours, that it's all right. Is it a form of social engineering, I wonder? Yeah. So whatever it is, okay, I may be overthinking, but all I want is to say that because of my day-to-day interaction with a lot of people, more so these days, and it saddens me that people are not open to think about, to imagine what could be done, to just think out of the box. I mean, don't mind the cliche. A lot of times we say, it cannot be done lah. You know, it's always like, no lah. Well, I'm a Singaporean, so we use a lot of lah, you see. And, yeah, but even if on an international scale, it's like, it's quick to, there's a pessimism. It's like as if people have been bitten, the spirit been bitten, you know, bitten to the ground. I've gone through this couple of years, and it hasn't been easy. It was probably one of the biggest tests. And it's not just this couple of years, it was a huge lead up. You can talk about a couple of decades actually. Shows my age, eh? Yeah, but still going through it, but I've learned. That's why I'm an alchemist now. You know, I use a lot of alchemy. I've learned how to alchemize it. But I observe it. As I say, to be born as a human is both a curse and a blessing. And I want us to all enjoy ourselves as much as we can. This could be the only place that have life in our form, like two hands, two legs kind of form, you know. It could be. We don't know, isn't it? So the regressive politics has put upon us, Joe public, is just a waste of fucking time. You know, it's a lot of it's a circus show, isn't it? We know what they're doing. Meanwhile, I mean, if we are all just like sitting around eating popcorn, it's a different thing. But we do have a lot of our fellow people suffering, lives and livelihoods. And it's getting tougher by the day. And we should try our very best to put that as a priority. Isn't it? Alright. Okay, enough of soapbox. Yeah, the next time come around, open your heart, free your mind, and explore with Allure as Alchemy, the human experience, the life beyond, and the great divine. I will be sharing more about how to connect to the great divine. Your soul is asking for it. Bye bye for now.